History lost, decks past, but in this series, we revisit older decks to see if they can be brought back to the forefront of the meta. We'll break down what made these decks great, what no longer holds up, and how modern builds can give them new life. By exploring different variants and tech choices, we'll tune each deck to fit different playstyles. Let's see if these classics still have what it takes for meta teching. What's up, guys? My name is TechnoTuner, and welcome back to another episode of Meta Teching. Right now, we're taking a look at Power Patron, as this deck is more of a rogue sleeper deck than anything else, from your pure Power Patron OTK to your Power Patron standard going second beatdown deck. This deck has a lot of good capability, being able to play into other decks such as Elf Note, Doomsday, Art Mage, and Pure, being able to give you those options to further advance with the decks, but also enjoy a little bit of fun with them. While these decks have a lot of good capabilities, I did want to bring them to light to give you guys a bit more of an understanding on how these decks work, but also show you a little bit more on the builds that you could see with the Power Patrons. Whether it be pure or with the other decks, this is something that we're going to be taking some time to look at today. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and hop right in, and we'll start off with the pure build. So, for our pure build, of course, we are looking at a pretty standard list here where it's basically going through and utilizing the 2 Ginoldo, the 3 Jurapedo, the 3 Nervetto, the 3 Shade the Obscure, the 2 Medius, the 3 Vidolium, the Unstable Power Patron of Unity, and other cards along the lines. But what do each of them do? Well, Ginoldo, if a Power Patron or Elf Note monster is special summoned as if this card's in the Pendulum Zone, you can destroy this card, and if you do, draw 2 cards, discard 1. But its monster effect is you can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy this card, and if you do, special summon Genora, the Power Patron of Tuning, from your extra deck. If this card is added to the extra deck face up, you can add 1 Power Patron or Elf Note card from your face up extra deck or graveyard to your hand except Ginaldo Shade Spirit Power Patron. So basically this card. So giving you the capability of adding a Power Patron or Elf Note card can further help your plays by getting you into your field spells or anything else, but can also get you into the access of Jurapedo, the Shade Machine Power Patron. Its pendulum effect is, during your main phase, you can destroy this card and 1 Power Patron or Doomsday monster in your hand or face up field. Then you can destroy 1 card on the field. You can only use this effect of Jurapedo, the Shade Machine Power Patron, once per turn. But its monster effect is you can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy this card, and if you do, special summon Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction, from your extra deck. This is treated as an Xyz summon. Then you can attach 1 card from your hand to it. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can add 1 Power Patron or Doomsday spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Jurapedo, the Shade Machine Power Patron, once per turn. So additional spell and trap search, but you do have the further capability with Nervetto here. Its pendulum effect is you can negate a monster effect activated by your opponent in response to the activation of a Power Patron or Art Mage monster effect, and destroy this card. You can only use this effect of Nervetto, the Shade Beast Power Patron, once per turn. Its monster effect is you can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy this card, and if you do, special summon 1 Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation, from your extra deck. This card, this is treated as a fusion summon. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can special summon 1 Power Patron or Art Mage monster from your deck or face up extra deck, except Nervetto, the Shade Beast Power Patron. You can only use each effect of Nervetto, the Shade Beast Power Patron, once per turn, basically giving you further access to go into other cards such as Art Mage monsters and stuff like that, but also giving you further access to your Power Patrons. Now for the TCG exclusive Shade the Obscure, this card is insanely cool looking, but it also has some really good effects. You cannot pendulum summon except pendulum monsters. This effect cannot be negated. If a monster with 1,000 attack or less is special summoned except during the damage step, you can return this card to the hand. You can only use this effect of Shade the Obscure once per turn. Its monster effect is if you have a card in your Pendulum Zone and this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card. You can pay 1,000 life points, destroy 1 Pendulum monster in your hand or face up field. Then you can add 1 Pendulum monster from your deck to your face up extra deck. You can only use each effect of Shade the Obscure once per turn. On top of that, we're playing 3 Vidolium, the Unstable Power Patron of Unity, where this card is insanely good for the deck, and our main boss monster. You can activate 1 of these effects, destroy this card, and if you do, special 1 Power Patron monster from your hand or graveyard. or destroy this card. Also, for the rest of this turn, Power Patron monsters you control whose original level is 12 gain 5,000 attack. You can only use this effect of Vidolium, the Unstable Power Patron of Unity once per turn. Cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon from your extra deck or graveyard by returning 3 monsters, 1 fusion, 1 synchro, and Xyz from your face-up field and or graveyard to the extra deck. Unaffected by monster effects except Power Patron monsters. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can add 1 Power Patron card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Vidolium, the Unstable Power Patron of Unity, once per turn. If this card is special summoned, banish face down all cards in the graveyards, being able to further hurt your opponent with recovery as well. Now, do note, we are able to summon most of these off of Medius the Pure. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add to your hand or special summon Power Patron monster from your deck. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle 1 monster from your hand or face-up field into the deck, and if you do special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field, you can only use each effect of Medius the Pure once per turn. So Medius basically gets us started on our combo, being able to get us our monsters out onto the board a lot easier. Now, do note we do have some spells to search him, which is Archmage, Vandalism, Assault. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Medius the Pure from your deck to your hand. You can only target 1 face-up monster you control. If that face-up monster would be used as fusion material this turn, it can be treated as a Archmage monster. You can only use this effect of Archmage, Vandalism, Assault once per turn. If Archmage, Academic, Arcane Arts, Acropolis you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can send this card you control to the graveyard instead. You can only activate 1 Archmage, Vandalism, Assault per turn. No worries on that, because we're basically going to be searching the Medius the Pure, but we're also going to be playing a couple other cards, such as Pendulum Treasure, along with Plunder Power Patron Plane Vidolia. You can reveal 1 Power Patron monster in your extra deck, banish face down 1 card from your hand, then add to your hand or special summon 1 monster from your deck that mentions the revealed monster's name, except in its once per turn restriction clause. You can only use each effect of Plunder Power Patron Plane Vidolia once per turn. Monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack for each banished card. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of cards in the graveyard while you control Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation, Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction, and Genora, the Power Patron of Tuning. So this can fully lock out your opponent from utilizing anything in their graveyard. But also, we have 3 Prohibited Power Patron Terminus. Send 1 Power Patron monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, then you can add 1 Dark Fairy monster from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot declare attacks for the rest of this turn except with Power Patron monsters at the start of the damage step. If your Power Patron monster battles an opponent's monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, banish face down that opponent's monster. You can only use each effect of Prohibited Power Patron Portal Terminus once per turn, so even more board breaking capabilities here. Now, do note we are playing the 1 Archmage Impasto Recapture. If you control an Archmage monster, you can activate this card the turn it was set. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish 1 fusion monster you control until the end phase. And if you do, negate the activation, and if you do that, destroy that monster. Then if you have 3 or more different monster types on your field, you can return all spells and traps your opponent controls to the hand. You can only activate 1 Archmage Impasto Recapture once per turn, so further hindering your opponent from being able to really play the game, but also giving you some good capability for negation. Of course, we're playing the Pendulum Treasure because you can add 1 Pendulum monster from your deck to your extra deck face up. This triggers all of your actual Power Patron monsters effects, giving you additional options to play around the game. Now we are playing 3 Infinite Impermanence, 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Droll and Luck, 3 Mulch Army Swallows. Please feel free to substitute these as you see fit to further best benefit your actual hand and board size, or just your deck and play style in general. Now for the extra deck, of course, we're playing the 1 Archmage Diactress, 1 Medius Pure, plus 1 Archmage monster. Target 1 monster on the field changes battle position when your opponent activates a card or effect on the field. If you have 3 or more different monster types on the field, quick effect, you can negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. If this fusion summon card is destroyed, you can special summon Medius the Pure from your hand, deck, or banishment. So basically giving you a little bit more recursion from that. But you also have 1 Archmage Non-Finito. 2 Archmage monsters must be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by discarding 1 spell or trap and attributing 1 level 7 or higher Archmage monster from your hand or field. You can only special summon Archmage Non-Finito once per turn this way. If this card is special summoned, you can set 1 Archmage spell or trap from your deck once per turn. Once per opponent's turn, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control. Putting us into Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation. 3 Archmage monsters must either be fusion summon or special summon from your extra deck in defense position by attributing 3 monsters with different types. You can only special summon Nerva, the Power Patron of Creations once per turn. While a card is in the field zone, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Once per turn, when you activate an Archmage monster's quick effect, you can make the activated effect become destroy all cards your opponent controls. Followed up by 1 Predaplant Dragostapelia, 1 Fusion Monster plus 1 Dark Monster. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, place 1 Predator counter on it. And if it is a level 2 or higher, it becomes a level 1 monster as long as it has a Predator counter. Negate the activated effects of your opponent's monsters that have Predator counters. Then, of course, we're following up with 1 Jupiter Power Patron Destruction. Once per turn, you can also exceed Jupiter Power Patron of Destruction using 1 monster you control equipped with 3 or more equip cards. If this card is Exceed Summon, you can equip any number of equip spells from your graveyard to this card that can equip to it. Gains 3,000 attack while an Exceeds monster as material. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, special summon 1 Doom Z monster from your graveyard. Then you can destroy 1 card on the field, basically giving a bit of recursion. But we're not going to be utilizing that effect because we're just basically going to be summoning it out along with Genora, if we need to. The Power Patron of Tuning. For this Synchro Summon, you can treat 1 monster in your center main monster zone as a tuner. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent controls. You can activate this effect. Monsters your opponent controls in the same column as Elf Note monsters you control cannot be used as material for a Fusion, Synchro, Seize, or Link Summon until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect of Genora, the Power Patron of Tuning, once per turn. Then, of course, going back to the Xyz line, we're playing 2 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. Once per turn, detach 1 material from this card, inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. Of course, we're playing a bunch of level 10s, so that makes sense. But I'm also playing the 1 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Rocket because I don't have access to, what's his name? Basically, the big dragon, Verutus, where basically he's a interactable pop that you play in Yubel and other decks. But basically, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Rocket is a good card because once per turn you can also Exceed Summon Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Rocket by discarding 1 card and using 1 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max as material. Transfers materials. When your opponent activates a monster effect while this card has material quick effect, you can negate that effect, and if you do, destroy that card, then inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. You can only use this effect of Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Rocket once per turn. Once per turn during your end phase, attach 1 material from this card or destroy this card. So it does come with a bit of a downside as well, but it is a 5k attacker, 3,000 defender. Following that up, we're playing 1 Beyond the Pendulum, 1 Charmer Quartet in Bloom, 1 Exceed the Pendulum, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Rahamu, Envoy of the Sacred Tome, and 1 SP Little Knight. I am not going to go over the full effects of these because each of these are very interesting unto their own, but they will be making reappearances in decks later on. Anyways, guys, that's all that I have for the Power Patron stuff for the main deck that is just sole Power Patron. So let's go ahead and hop right into the other variants. So, going directly into this, we're playing Power Patron Archmage as another option. While Archmage had a lot of power unto itself, we've seen a lot of it during the YCS, and it being able to really keep up with the meta and being able to play very effectively, we do utilize the Power Patrons here as other ways to search and get into our Archmage plays through Nervetto, but being also to search other Power Patron cards through Ginaldo and Geppetto, but also using Vidolium as another boss monster that is very helpful for the deck. From this, we're of course playing 1 of the Finmel, 1 Grufflair, 1 Laterra, and 2 of the Archmage Power Patron, the original one, along with 3 Medius the Pure. I think this is the only build that I've seen that has actually played 3 of the Medius the Pure, just as another way to basically further establish the Archmage combo, because Archmage really does establish a lot with Medius to begin with. The other cards that we're playing are 3 Archmage Academic Arcane Arts Acropolis. During your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Medius the Pure in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. You can discard 1 spell or trap, declare 1 Archmage monster card name that is not among the monsters you control and has not been declared for Archmage Academic Arcane Arts Acropolis' turn. Add that monster from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except for Archmage monsters, Medius the Pure, or from the extra deck. So that does kind of hurt a lot, but you do have a way to get an additional normal summon for your Medius to trigger off effects. Aside from that, we're playing the 1 Succession, the 3 Vandalism Assault, the 2 Alteration, being able to basically place a Archmage Academic Arcane Arts Acropolis from your deck or graveyard face up in your field zone, or add an Archmage card if it's one already there. But we also do play the one Plundered Power Patron Plain Vidolia, along with the 3 Prohibited Power Patron Portal Terminus, along with 3 Super Poly, the 1 Archmage Imposter Capture, and the 1 Archmage Pact Awakening, basically giving us the capability of being able to special summon a Archmage monster or Many Superior from our deck. Also for this turn, the activation of cards that and effects that include an effect that fusion summons a fusion monster cannot be negated. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a monster is fusion summoned this way. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one Archmage monster you control, return that monster to the hand or extra deck, and if you do destroy one card your opponent controls, you only use one Archmage Pact Awakening effect per turn, only once that turn. Now, do note that we are utilizing a lot more of the Power Patron stuff as we go with this deck, because it does give us that extra pushing power, extra capability to go into our fusions, such as Diactorus and Non-Finito. But we also do have the capability of utilizing Super Poly to go into our Clown Crew Diablo, Garura Wings of Resident Life, Mud Dragon of the Swamp. But we also have the further capability of using Sea Monster Theseus to really hurt Cool Tune as well. Now, do note we do have other cards such as Beyond the Pendulum, which is 2 effect monsters, including a Pendulum monster, so this would be one of your Power Patrons. If this card is linked summon in the extra monster zone, you can pay 1,200, add 1 Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, but for the rest of this turn, unless you Pendulum summon after this effect resolves, you cannot activate monster effects, and the effects of any cards in your Pendulum zones are negated. If 2 monsters with the different original levels are Pendulum summoned at the same time, to zones this card points to, you can target 2 cards on the field and destroy them, so giving you a bit of interactable pop, along with the 1 Charmer and Quartet in Bloom. 2 or more monsters gains 300 attack for each different attribute on the field. Once while this card is face up on the field, during the main phase, quick effect, you can target 2 monsters in your graveyard with the same attribute but different types, or with the same type and different attributes. Special summon both until the end of the next turn. This card and the special summon monsters cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro, seize, or link summon. You can only use this effect Charmer, Quartet, and Bloom once per turn. So basically a good way to revive the monsters that you need. But do note that we are playing the 1 Jupiter and the 1 Genora, along with the 1 Nerva, as other ways to get in some more damage, with the Power Patrons being able to sack themselves off to summon them if we need to. Now, that's all that I really have for the Archmage build. While you guys do see that this list is very generic, it does work very well for the Archmage power up. Being able to give it more pushing power and more playability, but also giving it the further capability of utilizing its extra deck a little bit more for other summoning methods. All right, let's go ahead and hop right into our next one. I'll show you what we're working with. The next one that we're utilizing the Power Patrons in is Doom Z. Now, this deck has gotten a lot of fan service, a lot of fanfare, as it utilizes the extra deck very well, and this deck is based on destroying your own cards to summon more. From Almath being able to summon a monster, Alara being able to set a Doom Z spell and trap if it's normal or special summon or destroy by card effect. And then you have Drastia, which is basically target a Doom Z card you control, destroy it, and if you do special summon this card from your hand and equip 1 equip spell from your deck to this card. When it's equipped with an equipped card, you can special summon Wind Machine Xyz monster from your extra deck with the same rank as this card's level. And if you do attach this card and its equipped cards to that monster's material, this is treated as an Xyz summon. You can only use each of the effect of Doom Z Drastia once per turn. We're playing the 1 Media Superior because you don't really want to play more of this guy, as you're going to be basically utilizing the Power Patrons to trigger off more popping effects and triggering off more summoning effects. Now, do note a lot more people are playing Almath at 2 instead of 3. I'm playing him at 3, so I have more targets to pop and summon. Now, the other cards that we are also playing is the 1 Power Patron of Doom Z, which is a good extender, but we're also playing 1 Therian King Regulus as a good way to utilize the Power Patrons in the graveyard or machines in the graveyard to further our plays, but also summon negation. We do have the Gerupedo as a way to trigger off so much for this deck, which is amazing. We have the 3 Doom Z Change, the 1 Vidolium, Do note real quick that Doomsday Change is really good because it allows you to destroy one Doomsday card in your hand, deck, or face-up field, except for Doomsday Change. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can add one Doomsday card from your graveyard to your hand, except Doomsday Change, then special summon one Doomsday monster from your hand. You can only use each effect of Doomsday Change once per turn, so further giving you more capabilities to get more bodies on board. The newer card that we have is Doomsday Command Adrastia. The first time the equipped monster will be destroyed by battle, each turn it is not destroyed. You can only use each of the following effects of Doomsday Command Adrastia once per turn. During the main phase, you can destroy the equipped monster, and if you do, special summon Doomsday monster in defense position, except the destroyed monster from your hand, graveyard, or banishment. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one face-up monster you control, equip it with this card, then take damage equal to the equipped monster's level or rank times 100. Do note that does give a little bit more painstaking plays there, but you're also playing one Doomsday Command Doom Dirge. Once per turn during the standby phase, inflict 500 damage to the controller of the equipped monster. Doomsday monster equipped with this card, or when machine exceeds monster that has this card gains the effects, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. And once per turn quick effect, you can activate this effect, destroy one other face-up card you control. Also, for the rest of this turn, this card gains attack equal to its own level or rank times 100, can attack directly, and if it battled, is destroyed at the end of the damage step. So this can help seal out games if you're going for bigger bosses, but it also has a bit more of the cutbacks to it. The main extender of the deck, which is Doomsday Raiders, destroy one other Doomsday card in your hand or field, then add to your hand or special summon Doomsday monster from your deck. You cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except for Xyz monsters. There's a little bit of a hard hit there, but it doesn't hurt this deck as much because we have the new Xyz monster Griflario, which can help us establish a lot more with it. But we are also playing the normal Power Patron core, which is the one Power Patron Vidalia field spell, the one Power Patron Portal Terminus for 3 copies of that, and then 1 Theorialize, along with the 1 Doomsday Destruction, 3 Infinite Permanence, 3 Ash, 3 Milch Army, Flawless, 2 Ghost Spell. Do note that we are playing a couple other cards that a lot of people are not more than likely going to see, which is Dark Ceruvium Irisville. 2 level 8 monsters, or once per turn, you can also Xyz Dark Servium Irisville by using one Xyz monster you control that did not activate its effects in the main monster zone this turn. Transfer its materials. If this card is Xyz summon, you can activate this effect during the battle phase of this turn. Xyz monsters you control gain attack equal to their rank times 100. If this card will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach one material from a monster you control instead. You can only use this effect of Dark Severium or Ceravum Irisville once per turn. So basically giving you further capability of getting some protection, but also attack boosting as well. We're playing the 1 Zeus, the 3 Doomsday Diactress, and in all honesty, would probably cut this down to 2, and run additional monsters that you can utilize with this deck. Running 3 Drastrius, which is basically, if this card is Xyz summon, you can equip one other face-up monster on the field. 2, this card is an equipped spell. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field or graveyard, detach one material from this card, negate that effect, and then you can equip one face-up monster your opponent controls to this card as an equipped spell. We're playing the 2 Griflario, which allows you to detach one material from this card, add one Doomsday spell or trap from your deck to your hand, and destroy one card on the field. If this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon one non-Xyz Doomsday monster from your deck or graveyard, giving you further extension there. We're also playing the 1 Spriggan's Gigantic Champion Sargus. You can also Xyz summon this card by using 1 Spriggan's Xyz monster control. While this card has material, you can add 1 Spriggan's or Therian card from your deck to your hand. If a material is detached from a monster on the field, target one card on the field, destroy it, and then or return to the hand, giving you further capability to pop your own cards or pop cards to get further extension. Of course, we're playing the 2 Jupiter Power Patron Destruction. Just making it a 6,500 beater can really help out a lot. The 1 Spriggan's Merrymaker. If this card is special summoned from your extra deck, you can send 1 Spriggan's monster from your deck to the graveyard. During your opponent's main or battle phase, you can banish this card until the end phase. Then, if you banish this card with 2 or more Xyz materials, you can also send 1 fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard that lists Fallen Balbaz. We're not utilizing that effect. We're basically utilizing it as a way to go into Gigantic Champion Sargus. Along with the 1 Super Star Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis, and the 1 Clockwork Knight, basically being able to give us further ways to get monsters off the board and into the graveyard, or trigger effects as well. While this deck is very effective, it is seeing a lot of current meta play as well with this deck, utilizing the Power Patrons. This deck, as I've stated, does play around a lot of the capabilities such as Droll, Ash, Molcharmy. You just have to pay attention to how this deck interacts and have to pay attention on how you're playing the deck as well, because if you let this deck go by, it is a sleeper in the format and I feel like will pop off greatly. Anyways, guys, this is all I have for this one. Let's hop into our final deck. All right, for our final deck, we're looking at Power Patron Elf Note. While a lot of people are like, oh, well, you don't really play Power Patrons in Elf Note, you are correct. We are playing the three main monsters, which are two Ginaldo and the one Vidolium, along with the one Field Spell Vidolia and the three Power Patron Portal Terminus. These are just basically good extenders to get us into our Elf Note combo play, being able to get us the bigger monsters on our board a lot easier, such as getting Genora on the board, while we can utilize the other monsters to go into our Fiendsmith combo for a Summon Negate, or allowing us to get further plays to go into bigger synchro plays, such as Crystal Wing, Chaos Angel, Enigmaster Pack Pit to place things in the back row, set up a Spell and Trap negation with F.A. Dawn Dragster, a board destruction with Black Rose. You have other cards such as Zelia, which is basically level modulation and being able to really help get cards back from your graveyard onto the board to continue your synchro plays. Now, while this deck is very helpful, you do have the capability of being able... That is the wrong one. Basically, we're using the other Elf Note trap. Let me go ahead and grab that, and I'll explain why we're utilizing that one. Because this one allows us to... Your opponent cannot attack... while you control a monster in your center main monster zone, your opponent's monsters cannot attack except attack that monster. You send one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, target one Elf Note monster in the graveyard with a different original attribute, special summon it. Then, if you control a synchro monster, you can negate the effects of one face-up card your opponent controls until the end of this turn. So basically giving you the capability of going into Tinia or Lucina during your opponent's turn to get a monster summon, or a monster addition, or a spell addition or placing, but also giving you the capability of banishing one random card from your opponent's hand, or being able to bounce a level 6 or lower monster your opponent controls back to their hand can really help out a lot. Now, the new Elf Note that we're playing is Regina. If this card is in your hand, you send one other Elf Note card from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. Special summon this card. If this card is no more special summon to the center main monster zone, you can special summon Elf Note monster from your deck except Elf Note Regina. If this card is sent to the graveyard as sync material, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use this effect of Elf Note Regina once per turn, basically giving you a further extender, but giving you the capability of further setting up bigger plays to really hurt your opponent on the crackback. While it is a 2k body, it is a level 6 body as well that can really hurt if you're not paying attention, because we have Elf Note's Welcome Home. The main monster zone, or the monster in the center main monster zone cannot be destroyed by card effects for your side. You can send one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon one Elf Note monster with a different original attribute from your deck in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except synchro monsters. You can only use this effect of Elf Note's Welcome Home once per turn, being able to give you that access to go from Tinia into Lucina, or Lucina into Fortuna, or Fortuna, which is our trap searcher, into Regina. You have a lot of good cycling capability off of this card to get you into the further plays that you need. Of course, we're only playing 2 Medius the Pure. As you've seen, Medius has been a unstable variable in all these decks, where some are playing him at 1, some are playing him at 3, some are playing him at 2. It's basically up to your options and your deck build on how many you want to play. I usually try to stick to 2 to 3 because I do like this card. Medius the Pure gets you into so many of your Power Patrons to start your combos, but also is a really good extender if you need that. And this deck is very helpful because it does get you into your Power Patron, which is Elf Note Power Patron, allowing you to target one monster. During the main phase, you can target one monster in your center main monster zone, increase its level by 3, then immediately synchro summon one Elf Note synchro monster, one Genora Power Patron tuning. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can add one Elf Note card from your deck to your hand, so basically giving you the capability of getting resources to your hand to continue playing, but also allows us to go into our Medies Keeper of the Boundaries to start our Fiendsmith combo. So do note that even if you're not playing the Fiendsmith combo, they could be playing a lot more of the Synchro package for more Synchro control, but there is a lot more good opportunities here with the hand ripping capability of utilizing Cyframe Lord Omega. But if they're using Bestials to banish light or darks in your graveyard, they could go into the Chaos Angel or even the Cyframe Lord Omega hand loop, where they can loop you for 2 or 3 cards, utilizing Bestial Dispater. So you do have to pay attention to this deck as well, even though it is not very well represented right now. Never underestimate any player that is playing any of these decks, especially Elf Note, because this deck is very malleable, where you can play it with Power Patron, Pure, or White Forest, and it can pretty easily break boards as well. While this deck is a lot of fun, you do have to pay attention to the pure power that it does have to offer. Anyways, guys, that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's videos. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.